how to work with obsessive thinking. Gosha, sociologist and psychotherapist, about obsessive thinking. We can obsess about different type of decisions we make, whether in a professional frames, like what is the best decision for that project, what should I do with this and that task. We can do it in relationships. If I wear that, will they accept me? Or if I say this or give that to my partner, will he love me more? And there is nothing wrong about thinking about decisions to make the right ones. The problem comes when we cannot stop. We cannot settle on any decision because every decision comes with the consequence of potential hurt or a failure. And the reason why in the obsessive thinking it's kind of a problem from perspective of mental health, because most of the time it concerns certain challenges in our self-perception. So it can be a problem, especially for those who are perfectionists. So perfectionists would do that to come up with the perfect decisions. So nobody will criticize them for not thinking about one or this or the other aspect of the problem. So they will think about the problem in so many different ways for not to leave any space for criticism, because that would be too hurtful for them, for their own self-esteem, and they will be afraid to lose respect or love or appreciation or faith in relation to others. But it also can be very relevant, the obsessive thinking, for the codependent people who rely on others as a source of approval, also validating themselves. So they will try not to make any decision that will rock the boat, or will try not to make any move that will make them less agreeable or less caring. So they will be thinking about what I can do for not to make any trouble, or not to not to show myself as too needy, or what can I do to actually show that I care. And again, this kind of thoughts everyone has, and there is nothing wrong about it. Just the scale of that and obsessiveness of that, and or maybe length of processing them makes this distinction, whether it's still on the healthy side, or it starts to eat so much energy of us that we almost cannot think about anything else, or we cannot actually focus on action because we are still in the process of thinking, considering. So and it's good to also realize the cause of that. As with the perfectionism and codependency, there is always reason in the past. Somebody in the past, a relationship with somebody in the past made us convinced that we need to do such and such thing. We cannot make mistakes, because mistakes means being unlovable. Mistakes means to receive harsh punishment or criticism, and it means being maybe outside of the acceptability scale. So it means I'm not going to have friends, or my partner won't love me, or my parents won't accept me, hence I won't survive. So it builds up into irrational beliefs. I cannot make mistakes ever, right? And with the codependent, if they were left to themselves, or had to take on the role of the adult too soon, they tend to look outside of themselves constantly. So they obsess about other people's perspective in order to be likable, so that the people pleasers. not because they are weak, or it's just because this is how they've been conditioned to receive some form of love. So, okay, so what can we do about it? Because if we are obsessively thinking about something, first of all, it's good to realize that it doesn't need to be like that. I do it because of the previous experiences that conditioned me in a certain way, and now I can do something about it. So what can I do? First of all, realize I'm doing it, and not blame anyone else for for me thinking that I have to. It's still my decision to do or not to do it. So if I want to change something, I can become more mindful of what I feel when I'm thinking, okay, I'm actually afraid that if I make this decision, I will not be acceptable by that person, or I will lose them as my friend, or I will lose the job. And when you verbalize that, or you can write it down, I'm feeling that, and my belief is that it will result in such and such. And then you can revise that thought. Is it rational? Is it really true that if I do that, I will lose them as my friends, or I will lose their job? Or maybe something in my head is exaggerating it. So if it often helps when you actually verbalize that to somebody you trust, or you write it down for yourself, because then you can see it like from the different perspectives, like, oh, wow, I really believe in that. And that can ease a little bit this obsession, and you might feel a little bit more space, or a little bit more freedom in actually making a call. Other thing is, if you cannot really stop obsessive thinking about particular thing, you might direct this obsessiveness into some kind of action in a moment. You might become mindful walker for a second. So you use all your senses to engage, to deflect a little bit the attention from that obsessive thought into a current moment action. So you might either go barefoot on the grass, and then just decide, I'm so obsessed about the grass and about this each finger that it's being touched by that grass, and it's like how it feels. Oh my gosh, it's a little bit moist, it's cold, but it's nice. And you engage all your thoughts, all your senses into feeling that. Or if you cannot go it on the grass, you go to the bathroom, and you might start washing your hands and feel what type of temperature is on my hand. Is it pleasant? Is it not? Maybe smell the soap, and obsess about the soap, and it will help you to get you in the moment, out of your thoughts, by using the power of your obsession. and it will ease at some point, because you will be doing something else than what you were thinking of, and then you might come back to that thought and revise it. So you might start working on that in like small steps like that, but as always, self-compassion is required in the process, because first of all, when you notice that, it won't be nice. It won't be nice to realize I'm thinking all of that, I have all of these fears. What does it say about me? I have low self-esteem, I don't want to know. I would rather just jump into these thoughts again and start and pretend I don't realize what I'm doing. That's often what we are also choosing, because it's hard to see ourselves for who we are. We would rather continue our denial than pierce it, And it's okay. That's why when you notice it, congratulate yourself for that. You've done something different. You've done something that required courage, and really, it's incredible. And changing that will also require a little bit of patience and determination. So you might next time give yourself a self-talk of, I'm still feeling that I will receive that judgment, but I know that, okay, even if this person will criticize me, my friend will not, because I will tell the same story to her, and I'm sure the reaction will be different. You know, to make like a small tweaks in your thoughts, that not everyone will, you know, turn away from me, and by making like a small steps, and using also the self-awareness, the mindfulness, to slow down a little bit this the speed of that obsession, will help you to make small adjustments bit by bit, and congratulate yourself for each small change, because many people do that not even realizing that. And if you realize it once, you are incredible. And if you decide to change something about it, you're even more amazing. And if you make these changes, even small ones, once in a while, you are a hero.